Welcome to the Convo Couch.
Welcome. This is the cast of Sky of Sheep.
I know, it feels sorry for me. Like, no, I was wasted.
And we're all storytellers in our own way. If we're artists, if we're dancers, if we're actors, if we're producers.
7 years, like your life changes.
Yeah.
28 is when you re-enter.
28,
Yeah.
then late 40s, and then 60s.
1 a.m. till 6 a.m.
Yeah,
for
right.
3 years, yeah.
Oh, dude.
That was my sacrifice.
You feel the environment and you think to yourself, this is where I want to be. But I guess with regards to sacrifice, it's basically been that time and effort. Most dads and most people, I guess, want nothing more than to come home from work and to eat dinner, put on the TV and just relax. My day would consist of coming home from work, doing my dad's chores, associating with the kids, doing whatever cleaning up or whatnot, helping out where I can with the kids' routines at night. And then after that, start doing my thing. So either preparing for an audition or writing a script or stretching so I don't get too much out of shape or whatever it might be. And I'll be doing that for a couple of hours after 8:30, 9 o'clock, just to sort of keep things going. But I realized after a few years with trying my luck in acting that there is a lot of dedication that is required. There is a lot of preparation, there is a lot of rejection, there's a lot of time that is required. So I've kind of, I guess, stepped back a little bit from acting and looking to doing a bit more of the producing side of things.
Great.
Looking to producing content where I can actually work with people who can dedicate that time and resource into putting a project together, who can spend that time preparing for a part and, acting that part in front of the camera while I'm sort of working behind the scenes a little bit more. But I would also like to get in front of the camera as well, so I'm sort of mixing it up a little bit. But I made that choice to do that because it does allow me that flexibility to still pursue something that I truly do love, while also helping out other people as well, get in front of the camera and producing content that I don't think there's many opportunities in Australia to do these sorts of projects that I'm looking to put together.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when we talk about like creating content and creating opportunities for people and stuff like that, that's so important in it. Like, if it is a small industry here and if there is a limited amount of work, a lot of people can get on this track of, I really want this job and why did that guy get the job instead of me and stuff like that. And people can come quite, I suppose, like cutthroat about the industry or like jealous that someone else got the role. But if you think about it in the way of creating content and creating opportunities for people, if you can send that same job out to all your friends and recommend people for roles, generally that like what goes around comes around. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like it's a much better way of doing it, because then not only are people seeing you as someone who is helping them out, they might help you out one day as well.
No, back here, you'll see that something's going on. You're like, you know what? I know someone who will be perfect for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're not going to get cast for the same role.
No.
Probably not, but yeah.
Maybe. I mean, but like generally, it's like it's like generally it's always in your best interest, because the client has an idea of their vision in mind, right?
Exactly.
Or there's always this person that they had in mind, and no matter what you do, you could give the best audition ever. If the guy just gave exactly what they wanted, you just gave your best, and all we can do as our job is to go in there and do our best. We can deliver our best performance. We can bring truth to the character. We can tell our story, and that's our job. Anytime I go in an audition, I throw the script away afterwards.
You completely forget about it.
Throw it away. It's done. It's like, I've done my job now. My job isn't to get the job. My job is to do my best.
What Bryan Cranston says. Your audition is your job as an actor is to audition, not to actually do that. The rest is up to them.
Exactly.
The
client's decision.
Right. It's up to you to do the best. But I'm not sure about you guys. It's like love-and-hate relationship with auditions. Like, I do love them because there's a chance to act, a chance to show off. But is it like audition? It's like a first date.
It's always.
I cannot really, in a possible way, show the best of myself. I believe, after certain hours of work, we can discover something. We can collaborate and come up with something really good. But with auditions, I'm like, did you do a good job? Yeah, but I could have done better.
There's always that.
You gotta make those adjustments as quick as you can, because you gotta, like, that comes with practice. And time, and how much you can dedicate to the actual audition, because that's what I was finding. I was getting scripts and whatnot, and I was getting quite a few auditions, but the time I needed to prepare for, I guess, for a maybe or a maybe not, which is most likely going to be the outcome, I had to basically look at the time I had in the day and where my most likelihood of me achieving my goals were to be. And I found that, yes, I could pursue acting, but then, it could take quite a while for the ground to get, for you to get up and running with regards to that. So producing content, you can sort of hit two birds with one stone.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because I've heard someone who's been doing it for a while, but then they started producing. And then since they started producing, it opened up so many more opportunities for them as an actor. Although there was
that'd be a great I guess avenue. But then with the people we have on board, our goal and our only goal so far is content. So we would like to produce a film, have the ability to do the same thing probably every 12 or 18 months. And like with all the online platforms that are out there and so forth, there's a lot of opportunity now to create content. But if we can just basically put something together and then learn from that what we did right, what we did wrong, and do it all again. But we want to collaborate with as many like-minded people as possible, because I'm a firm believer that many heads are better than one. And when you do get together and have all these different ideas coming in, the quality of content you can put together will just be that much greater.
Yeah,
because
certainly.
one thing that indie filmmakers don't have is the funding that they're competing against. That's competing against. But with many ideas, with many different talents coming into play, then that can, I guess, make up for that lack of funding that you could get. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, Igor, you find that you feel like you want to spend more time with the script, is it, when you audition?
Well, I mean, with audition, I just think it's better for me. Let's just say this way: I don't think I can give 100% of myself straight away on the first day. I'm the person who also needs to get to know the person, the scripts, in terms to completely open up. I need to know lots of details about it. So I do like to study. So it comes to script, I do like to study my character, invest lots of time. If I'm given lots of details and content about my character, it's a really joy to be creative and think about it. It's tricky with auditions, I think.
Because sometimes you get them the night before. You're like, I mean, it's...
But are you thinking a lot about what the director is looking for when you're auditioning for your script? Is that what you're thinking about? Or are you thinking about what is it you can bring to the character? Because a lot of the time the directors, they don't know what they're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. They're not looking for
it's up to you to create something and present it to them to see whether or not is this what you're looking for. Because I've had at times I've auditioned for things where I've given it exactly how I thought. I've given my take of it. They said that's great. Try it like this, and they've literally acted it out in front of me, and I just went, well, that's how you would react. I mean, I'll do it as copying you as best as I can, but that's.
But you don't want to.
That's not a good director.
Yeah, everyone has a different reaction.
Yeah, that's
to
right,
things.
and
Sorry. What's a good director, Salv?
What? You put me on the spot? I'm not a director. Okay.
I want to hear from all of you guys. What's a good director?
Good director. Okay, I guess. Good qualities of directors would be communication, the way they articulate exactly what it is that they require.
Oh, sorry. And also worst director stories. You don't have to name names.
No.
I didn't know their names. Well, okay, so going back to, I guess, positive attributes of directors, someone who's, articulate, who can communicate exactly what they want. Patience, someone who's consistent in their approach. So if they've got an artistic view on exactly what it is that they're looking for, they have to maintain that consistency throughout. And they've got to maintain that energy throughout the entire life cycle of the project, because if they can't do that, the project's just going to be looking a little bit awkward at times, and it just won't be matching up with what you saw earlier on within the film. So a director's got a tough job, but that creativity, that consistency, that communication, that energy is the most important aspects of a director. I feel
Yeah, totally.
that is required. Bad directors who can't actually do any of those things that I mentioned, and like the ones where I mentioned where they literally have to. They ask you to copy what it is that they're doing.
Asking for a specific emotion, how they want it, or something like that.
Well, I don't mind that at times, but I don't think it's appropriate that they would want to show someone how to do it.
Yeah.
They should basically give the direction where they're saying, okay, we want to see a little bit more emotion here. Or don't sniff. You need to sniff 3 times when you're sad. No. Don't get that specific.
right.
But become emotional. Become this, become that. And then rely on the actor to do their job.
Well, that's it.
I think that's the important part of...
I think the best directors have an appreciation of acting itself, and they sort of know when to let the actors just do their own thing and
That's right.
go with their craft.
They need to have a good understanding, working understanding of how actors get into their zones and whatnot, and to allow the actor time and the right environment to get into that to that character, because
there's a lot of emotional investing that we use, and there's a lot of for us to have this wall in front of us, this mask that we play, we first have to let something go here.
Absolutely.
We have to let ourselves loose, right? And when you're in an emotional sort of vulnerable state, and you're bringing yourself there, and then there's a whole bunch of shit going on in the background, and no one's paying attention to that.
So
that's hard.
The AD needs to be creating that environment for the actors to excel.
So
it's very important. Yeah. And there's got to be a lot of, and this is for the AD to put onto the set as well. The entire crew needs to be able to radiate that sort of, want. They're trying to get the best out of you. They can't show that they're getting frustrated or something happening. Everyone has to be there, understanding, be patient, and it'll just keep the actor at ease to allow them to express themselves in a this patient and timely manner. So
in the same way that we'd give the sound guy the silence that he needs, or the lighting guy the space that he needs, or whatever it is, or the silence that the AD requires to let everyone know. Like, everyone is part of this story building, this storytelling experience. So in the same way that we would want respect for us, like we generally, if you're professionals and whatever, it's we give respect for that in kind as well. And if all that respect sort of comes in, the communication's there, the passion's there, the wanting for something to do well is there, everything goes well. No matter what. And and then that's where you find good people, is the people that do have the respect for everyone. If it's the catering, if it's the power of food making everyone energized enough to do it. It's like,
and that comes down to the producer as well, hiring compatible people and creating that team environment for everyone to sort of have that one direction.
You don't want to be doing something hard and then someone's like, how long is it going to be? I've got to go to lunch or something.
That's right. Some people
am I holding you back?
Hey, mate, how long is it going to take for you to get a tear out of this boy? Come on.
But going back to what you're talking about, a good directing or bad directing, is like what he said. If they know how to communicate with you, like at ease and not to push too much pressure, and but then also if director is angry and snapping at everything, it just creates this hostile environment that you don't want to be, because everyone's tense then.
That's right.
And you like, I don't feel like you.
Depends on
you
the
don't
script,
get. No, but is it not with the script part? I mean, like if he's like yelling at someone else or something else, and then he's like, okay, are we ready? Let's go action. And then you're not relaxed enough to get into whatever you work. Even if you have to be angry as a character, as an actor, you still need to be relaxed. So
I've seen
you
that.
Want to be there,
I've seen that on a feature film set where the AD was literally snapping and yelling, and it was just his tone as well. It was if things were going behind schedule, you can kind of expect that to happen on set. I don't think I've ever seen
always. I've never seen anything go.
But the actors, I could tell were very safe in their performance, and that's not exactly what people want all the time. So if you're an actor, the AD's pissed off. You're going to go in front of a camera and you're going to basically give your safest performance rather than your best performance. Where if an actor knows that they've got a bit of time, a bit of understanding, they'll relax and loosen. They'll give you something, probably that 10-15% more quality. And that's something we tried to do for our proof of concept, where we could see someone was a little bit nervous at times, they were struggling a little bit. Give them time. We've got... we've got memory cards. We can take as many takes as required. It's not the old film days anymore. This is just, it's free. Go ahead, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Relax, it's all good. And we've got to keep that environment
for sure
nice and relaxed and happy. And we came across those struggles as well. But I think the way we all handled it, we all got together as a team. We overcame any of those issues that happened.
That's it. I mean, you can have good examples of directors, but I think I've never had a bad experience with a director who asked for too much, really. I mean, like if there's more information and he's got a creative vision and he's putting it in there and he's giving you a lot of information to work with, but he's allowing you the time to do it, that's always better than someone who's not taking the bull by the horns. Someone who doesn't have the confidence to tell people, let's move on. This is what I want out of the shot. The worst thing to hear is, I don't know what I want out of the shot.
Yeah, that is you lose all the faith. You're like, I'm just gonna pack away and go. You have no idea what I'm doing.
Because people think, oh, well, if he doesn't know, then it's up to me to do something. Then everyone starts creating their own different versions of things. It's like,
Well, that's the thing. It's just like
this thing's been too many cooks. You don't know where you're going.
If you don't know something and you don't care enough to find out, it's kind of like, it's like, do you hate me or do you love me? It doesn't matter. Just don't be indifferent, because that's the worst, right?
Exactly.
It's like, as long as I'm generating a response.
Be honest with
if you're not generating anything, if there's no response, you're like, oh, I don't know what the next shot is, or you don't care.
If they don't show confidence, straight away I'll lose interest. I'm like, I don't know why I'm here.
It's on them. It's their project, and you're sort of helping. You're part of that process, and
it's their story. I'm just helping to tell their story. And if he doesn't know his own story, I'm just walking through it.
Yeah.
That's it. You see a script, and the script is shocking. You're like, someone didn't care enough to put the effort enough into the words, into creating this story. How can you have faith in the rest of the process? You have to, it starts from like little minor details, and you can see it, and I suppose there's so many different aspects as to like having care and having taking responsibility for creating something and creating a story and telling a story. And as you said, we're the ones who are we're just doing the emulation.
Yeah.
We're just pieces of this whole puzzle. Like everyone's trying to put it together, right?
What's the difference? Igor, I haven't heard from Igor yet. What's the difference in Russia, do you think, from here and Russia? You think people are too soft here?
Yeah, you could say so. Yeah.
Everybody's soft.
They drink vodka.
I guess in Russia. I think in Russia, I'm primarily come from this stage experience. I think in theater there is more discipline, and it's okay for someone to snap, because everyone understand that it's very
it's a tedious process.
Tough process. It's a very sensitive thing that we're doing here. But with me personally, I think what I like about Russia or Russian teachers and directors, that they're quite honest with you. So if you're doing something, if you're doing something bad, if you suck, they'll tell you, look, that's shit. I don't want this. Give me this, because they know what they want, and that's important for me. If the director knows what she wants and give you proper directions, and if you're good, they'll tell you good. They will praise your work. But if it's bad, they're gonna be honest with you. I hate the thing in Australia that they say it's not bad.
Let's try it.
But
just tell me it was crap.
it's crap. You know it's crap. So everything before bad.
But we were brought up in this nice little safe country. We can't handle rejection like that. Yeah. We're not a hard dig down inside.
Tough love, man. That's the best though.
Tough love. But for me as an actor, just as a person, I guess that's how I grew up. If a person is ready to push me to my limits, I appreciate that, because that's how I can grow. That's how I can get better. Like playing tennis, if you're playing with someone who's much better and they pushing you, you gotta do this and that. You're growing, you're developing. And I think it's very important to just, if you're afraid of something, just go there and jump in this pool of fear and learn how to survive, and you will grow and develop.
Absolutely, and that relates to all of life as well as acting.
Yeah,
that's a great mindset just to just to have. But I
think in Russia they have a very strong respect for acting. Like it's a tradition, and like a lot of great acting thinking comes from Russia itself.
I truly believe that Russia is the heart of acting. Like Stanislavski, I truly believe that his system is the best. It was just the time when it was just theater and they knew how to break down the script, how to know your objectives, how to know your super objective, you know, how to work with other fellow actors, how to deliver the truth from the line.
And it was all about the human condition because that's all they had to work with. You know, it's like,
And it's not just industry, it's actual art. And I truly believe in art. And that's why, like, I do love martial arts. I do study Kung Fu, and I love the word art of expression of your soul, of yourself. So, yeah, like, I think in Russia, it's a bit more different than in the West. But it's something maybe more genuine. Yeah, definitely. And also like theater. I love theater. I love everything about theater. The smell in it, it's just so magical as well, you know.
I had a friend who he was trying to prepare his actor, and he stepped on the actor's head. She was from France, actually. She was a girl.
Right.
And she stepped on the person was supposed to be scared.
Yeah.
And she told him to lie down, and he put her foot on his head, and he said, "Imagine the scene. Do you feel like that's okay? What do you guys think? Is that okay or not okay?"
Towards certain limits, I mean, like,
Depends on the individual cop in the foot.
Yeah.
I think it's
I wouldn't mind a foot in my face.
Yeah.
As long as the shoe was clean.
But that's also kind of like.
And as long as you're not forced to do so, she's like, no, do it. You're like, no, I'm not comfortable. Yeah, but
Will she stop, and does she have heels? Heels, that's where I say no.
It depends really on the script. I mean, you gotta feel.
Yeah.
If you want to know, you gotta feel it.
Well, and there's a thing like when we prepare. I don't know. Like in my studies, we had classes to find out what your limitations were, what you're comfortable with, and do it in the safety of a classroom where you could figure that out here rather than getting head over heels in an audition, saying I'm absolutely willing to do this, and then finding out that you're absolutely not. And that can make you there's so many different variations of how that situation can play out badly. And I think it comes to communication, it comes to knowing realistically with yourself what your boundaries are, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, and then communicating with
that's
the
right,
scene
making
partner.
sure you have the courage to communicate. You know what? I'm not too comfortable with a foot on my face. So,
Right.
it's
That's
important.
the good thing about martial art background.
It's good that.
Yeah.
In fact, you get more than a foot in the face. You get a knee in the face. You get you're all right with that stuff.
But same with fighting, like all the choreography. I think I obviously don't smash my face. Obviously, I mean, but I'm willing to face this because I want to know how it feels. And if you want to go real, you gotta hurt yourself at some point.
Well, in saying that, when we were shooting our fight scenes, our most realistic stuff was when we did get punched in the face.
Funny that.
There was a time I forgot to duck.
Yeah.
And when we went through this one choreographer, and he was very safe, keep us, feet apart and whatnot, and none of us felt comfortable with it. We said, no, we want to hit each other, we want to touch,
It feels like
we want to be able to respond to something, and we wanted less work on the cameraman as well. They were about less angles and so forth. We wanted to get nice up and close and feel it. So there were times where we were doing hooks and kicks and punches where if we didn't move, that was a punch in the face or a kick in the face. And there was one time where I was literally supposed to duck completely for a hook, and I stood there and I copped this clean shot in the face.
Oh, wow.
Was it a great shot though?
The guy had his because it's not martial. So in martial arts,
As long as the camera took it.
camera got it. Don't worry about that.
Baby.
But in martial arts, you don't telegraph your shots.
No.
You're there, you're snapping something here. You come everything's nice and tight. But as you know, in the arts and when you're filming fight scenes, everything comes from over here. You got to punch someone. All that here. So it comes from right there. So then, well, that's right. And you've got to exaggerate everything to show the audience what your intention is.
Yeah.
So my opponent, he took his swing from down here and just gave me a nice clean clock.
All the way.
Went here, and everyone had to go, not to say anything. And when they cut, I'm like, "You got that, didn't you, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I got that."
And then Salv killed a guy.
No.
Police!
It doesn't really concern me what it is that you need to do, as long as my life can get back to normal.
You really are a coward, aren't you? No, it's the other C word. Clever.
We're all good. But what was great was that shortly after we had to film an interrogation scene. I was getting interrogated, and this mad lump was developing here, and it looked great because it didn't need makeup. And then where the light was shining for that particular scene was all on that bruise. And
it looked like it's been beaten up.
But that's what happens in the scene. They do start cracking me and hitting me, and it does look like that. So. The timing was great. That's awesome. To get punched in the face. It was probably the most beneficial punch in the face of a cop.
So, if you take anything from today, get punched in the face.
You got time, you got to know when not to duck because it was a good shot.
Like, this is like passion. It's like you get punched in the face and he's not mad and he's so happy about it.
It depends on the context. If I walk down the street, someone clocks me like that, I'm not
too happy. He always says in all his Rocky movies, like, someone has to get punched, like, you have to get properly punched and knocked out at least once to know how it feels.
It happens.
He was talking to Creed when they were filming Creed to Michael B. Jordan, saying he was like, "Oh, I've never been knocked out." I was like, "Oh, what? You never been knocked out? All right, set it up. We're doing this scene now." And there's a slow mo of him doing it, and he gets knocked out. Like,
I think Dolph Lundgren was saying when he just got the job to portray that Russian character, he said that he had to punch his own boss. Which is Stallone.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said, "You gotta punch me," and he's a huge guy. I mean.
Probably twice the size of the old Stallone. But it's good to work with fellow performers who like to cop those hits, those shots to the stomach and whatnot. Yeah. It's so refreshing because when you have that understanding with one another, where you know what, if I hit you, we're mucking around here. You're not gonna take it personal. Yeah. It just makes things so much. Relax. You're not scared of hurting someone. Yeah. And you're not scared that your opponent is afraid to get hurt.
That's it's working with professionals and people of like mind in that professional caliber, for sure.
And we found that a real martial artists were able to deliver that. So we were kicking each other in the stomach. Like a lot of stuff that you see, the connection was there. Where at times when we did the jumps and the 360s, we can't. Yeah, I thought we can't connect those ones. There's going to be some intensive care required after that. So we had to get the right angles for that. But it's good fun though.
Yeah, for sure.
Does anyone, everyone here has done sex scenes or willing to do sex scenes, or what do you guys feel about sex?
Well, I've done it at times. It's inevitable. I haven't done it.
Where's my Costa?
I haven't.
I thought that's what this was today.
Different couch.
Different couch. I think I was never really up for it, and I didn't really prepare for anything. But like recently, I had to do my first LGBT film, and I was like, this script is amazing, and I've only ever done straight roles or everything like that. But when I was reading the script, I was like, wow, this isn't about gay or straight or anything like that. This is a relationship. Everyone can relate to this. And it was and it was going to be so well filmed, I knew everything was going to be taken care of in the best possible way. And there wasn't a sex scene. There was a lot of intimacy, and there was a lot of like implied sort of things. And because of how well it was done and like the environment was good, there was nothing. It wasn't tasteless. There was no tongue or anything. It's just putting yourself in an environment. There, I felt like, well, that is a character I can play, and I've never done a gay role before that. But it's just like when two professionals are working together and creating this story and trying to develop this sort of thing. I was like, well, that's just opened up another possibility of roles and performances and stories we can tell.
But you've stuck to your objectives, where regardless of whether it's a straight or a gay role or whatnot, you stuck to your objectives of understanding the script and producing what is required, and it's something that obviously did have meaning behind it, and wasn't just because of being gay or straight or whatnot. There was a story behind it, and you've delivered what's been required, and that's the role of an actor. So,
exactly, and it just comes down to what you're comfortable with. Because I know a lot of people that wouldn't be comfortable with that. I know a lot of people that would be more than comfortable with that and do much more. But for myself, I was like, well, this is the best opportunity and the safest place for me to sort of develop this character. Because if I just said no, absolutely not, I'll never play that role, I feel like I'd be limiting myself as a performer.
You would be, yeah.
And when I see a script that I'm like, well, I can absolutely deliver this and tell this story and give it verisimilitude and have people feel, because this happens to so many people in all walks of life, and this struggle, and how we bat heads, and how some people want something from someone, but they want something else, and where do we meet this in the middle? And I was like, well, yeah. So you can't limit yourself, but you also have to know what your boundaries are, and you have to be true to yourself there as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's other, like, depending on your status in life, there's other implications. There are people close to you. Being married, if I was out, my wife's always warned me, don't you dare. And so she's kind of my agent when it comes to those sorts of things.
Cool.
I don't write about my agent.
She's like, I have to look through the thing first. And because if it's something really bad, I have to be on set. I'm like, you're gonna make things even harder for me.
Quality control.
On set.
She's like, I'm gonna be on set. I'm like,
someone's gonna die. The likelihood of you quite high.
You think you got a left hook? Oh my god, his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm gonna lose anyways.
Alright, okay. Do you want to call it?
All right, on 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!